with three more conference tournament brackets set. Today I'm going to be talking about the Patriot League, the Southland Conference, and the West Coast Conference in this video. And for the Patriot League, it's really just two different teams who have a legit shot at winning, and that is Bucknell and American, who are the 1 and 2 seeds in this conference tournament. So Bucknell, as the 1 seed, kind of has a really, really good draw, and then American kind of has the worst of the two spots because American does have to play Colgate, who has proven that they have the ability to make the tournament in the past years. So I think that Bucknell is definitely better set up to win this conference. And for Bucknell, this is a team that at the beginning of January, you would have thought this team probably would have only won about 10 games. Now, because they had lost 7 in a row from the end of November to January 2nd. So however, they have won 9 of their last 10, with their only loss coming to at Army by 6 in double overtime. So this is a team that has played really, really well as of late, and I think that is going to help them out come this conference tournament. And Bucknell is led by Noah Williamson, who has gone off for 25 points multiple times this year. He's a legit scorer who's going to be able to go out and give you 25 points on any given night. Now, they also add a lot of scoring from Josh Basco, who is really also a great player. Now, those are primarily their only 2 players. And if the top 5 main stat categories, those 2 are the leaders in all 5 of the stat categories. And for this conference, they are averaged about 34 rebounds a game, which is good for this conference. But if they make the national tournament, they aren't going to be able to contribute a ton in that tournament because of they just lack the rebounds and they aren't great defensively. As for American, they haven't played as well as Bucknell as of late. They do have 3 losses in the month of February, but they have also added 6 wins in that month. So they have kind of played at the same kind of level as Bucknell has all year. It's just Bucknell has been playing better as of late. They have 1 main scorer and are led by Matt Rogers, but they can also get contribution from Elijah Stevens, Greg Jones, and Colin Smalls, who all are going to be able to go out there and give you about 10 points a game. They are kind of a subpar rebounding team compared to a team like Bucknell, only getting about 30 rebounds a game, and they kind of lack interior defensively, only getting about 2 blocks a game. But they have proven that they can beat Bucknell. They did beat Bucknell at home, so this conference tournament definitely could go one of 2 ways, but I am going to wind up going with Bucknell because of how well they have played as of late. I think that Bucknell has the better shot, the better path to the championship, so I am going to go with Bucknell to win the Patriot League conference tournament. And in the Southland Conference, this is kind of a 2-team race between McNeese and Lamar, and obviously we all know about McNeese State and their manager, so I think that McNeese has definitely kind of got the things going in the right way, and this is definitely a team that has the best shot at winning the conference, but Lamar is definitely also a very, very good team and has a legit shot at winning as well. And this McNeese team only has 6 losses all year. The first one coming against South Dakota State, the first game of the year, by 7. And then they only lost to Alabama at Alabama by 8. They lost to Santa Clara by 7. And then they lost to Mississippi State by 3. So this is definitely a team who has the ability to play in those big games and have proven that they have the ability to kind of compete in those big games. And this McNeese team has only lost 1 game since December 14th. So, and that came against Nichols at Nichols, and they only lost by 8. So this is definitely a team who has played extremely well for the last really 2.5 months of basketball. Now, they aren't really led by really anybody, but they do have 4 guys who are going to be able to go out there and give you double digits a night in Javon Garcia, Sincere Parker, Christian Shoemate, and DJ Richards Jr. So they have the ability to score at a very, very high level while shooting it very well from 3. They are very, very good at rebounding, and they are going to be very, very active on the defensive side of the ball. They get a ton of steals and a decent amount of blocks, getting about 3.5 a game. So this is definitely a team who is going to be active on defense, is going to kind of shut down your leading scorer while being able to score at an extremely high level. And as for Lamar, they aren't as good as what McNeese State is. They have lost to McNeese State twice this year already, and they have lost to Incarnate Ward. But because they have the 2 seed, they do get Nichols in their second game, which will be against a team that they have beaten twice already this year. So they do have the ability to beat Nichols. Now they don't have the ability to beat McNeese State. If they play McNeese State in the championship game, I think that McNeese is definitely better set up to beat this team. Now, this Lamar team is kind of very, very similarly set up to a McNeese State team. They are just a little bit taller than what McNeese is. They are led by Alex Marmogelos and Jason Jackson and Andrew Holyfield, who all average double-digit points. Now they average 38 rebounds a game, which is very, very good for their conference, and then while adding 7.5 steals and 5 blocks a game. So they are definitely active on the defensive side of the ball, play at a very, very similar style as to what McNeese State does. So if these two teams meet up in the conference championship, I do believe that this is going to be a very, very good game and could go either way. However, I am going to pick McNeese State because of how well they have played since in the last 2.5 months. McNeese is definitely the better team overall, and I do think that they are better set up to win this conference tournament. And for the West Coast Conference, there's really 3 teams that have the shot at winning, and that is the 1 seed St. Mary's, the 2 seed Gonzaga, and the 3 seed San Francisco. But Santa Clara does have a legit shot. It's just the fact they do have to play St. Mary's on their side of the bracket. Now, I love the way that this bracket is set up. I love these gauntlet style conference tournaments where these teams, lower seeded teams, if they want to win, they have to win 6-7 games. I love the way that this bracket is set up. Now, there's definitely 2 teams that are definitely better than the other one, and that is going to be St. Mary's and Gonzaga. And for St. Mary's, this team is very, very good. They've proven they can win big games. They've beaten Gonzaga twice. They held USC to 36 points, and they've beat Nebraska, who is a tournament level team. So, and their only loss coming since the end of December was to San Francisco by 1 on the road at San Francisco. They've got 3 great scorers led by Augustus Marcelionis, Paulius Morauskas, and Mitchell Saxon, who all can give you double-digit points a game. They really only play 6 guys a game, which kind of lacks that bench depth, and luckily they only do have to win 2 games to win this conference. So now if they were a little lower seeded, like a 4 seed, this would come back to hurt them because of how much they have, how many games they would have to win and play in consecutive days. And this St. Mary's team, they are great offensively and defensively. They don't really rely on the 3 as much as what you would see in some of these other teams, but they are very, very good at shooting the 3. They have a great assist to turnover ratio, and they get a ton of rebounds, while their inside offense is not as great as what their perimeter offense is, and they aren't great at shooting free throws, and they play at that slow pace that I don't think works well in the March Madness tournament. And Gonzaga is going to be the same Gonzaga team that you see every year. They've beaten Baylor, who's a decent team by a lot. They beat San Diego State, who has a chance of making the tournament. They've beaten Indiana by 16, who's a decent team. They lost by Kentucky by 1 in overtime. They lost to UConn by 6, who is going to be a tournament team. And they lost to UCLA by 3, who is also a proven tournament team. They have lost to St. Mary's twice, which is kind of concerning, considering that if they want to win this conference tournament, they're going to have to beat St. Mary's at one point. They are led by Graham Ike, who's going to average about 17 points a game. So he's going to lead them in scoring, but they also get a ton of scoring out of Ben Gregg, Braden Huff, Ryan Nemhard, Nolan Hickman, and Khalif Battle, who are all going to give you about double-digit points a game. Now, Ryan Nemhard, he does only average 11 points, but he's going to give you double-digit assists almost every single night that he comes out. And this Gonzaga team is great offensively. They shoot the three well. They Similar to St. Mary's, they have a great assist turnover ratio. They are really, really good at rebounding, and they are super efficient, but they do lack interiorly. They aren't great offensively or defensively interiorly, and they kind of lack the size needed to win this conference. And the team that kind of look out for in this conference is going to be San Francisco, the 3 seed. They have proven that they have the ability to beat good teams. They beat Boise State by 11, who's going to be probably a conference or a tournament team. They only lost to Memphis by 4, who is going to be a very high seed in the tournament. They lost to Clemson by 15. So they have the ability to compete in those big games. They lost to St. Mary's by 20. They lost to Gonzaga by 11, and then they lost to Gonzaga by 20 in their second game. So they kind of win the big games outside of their conference. They have yet to prove that they can win the big game within the conference, but this is definitely a team to watch out for. And this team, they shoot a ton of threes, and they're not super great at it. They don't get a ton of offensive rebounds, and they don't go super deep into their bench. They are very, very good defensively, and interiorly on the offense, they are very good at it, and they get a ton of points off of turnovers that they force. So if I had to pick a team to win this conference, it's definitely between St. Mary's and Gonzaga. I am going to go with Gonzaga because of just the reputation of Gonzaga. Can't go against Mark Few in March. He's definitely going to have his team ready to win this conference, and that is who I'm going to pick. So that is kind of my outlook on the Patriot, the Southland, and the West Coast tournaments. I do have Bucknell winning in the Patriot, McNeese State winning in the Southland, and then Gonzaga winning in the West Coast Conference. Thanks for watching.